وَقَالَ رَسُولٌ. Allah is saying on the day of Qiyamah, and you've got to go back into the verses to follow this verse. وَقَالَ رَسُولٌ يَا رَبِّي إِنَّ قَوْمِ اتَّخَذُوا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ مَهْجُورًا. On the day of judgment, this is important, brothers. The Prophet ﷺ will say to Allah, Ya Rabbi, O Allah, O my Lord, Inna qawmi, my people have taken hadha al-Quran mahjura. My people have taken this Quran as nothing. They avoided it, they neglected it, they discarded it. Some Mufassirin have said that he was referring only to the kuffar. That's only piece of their opinion. That the kuffar, at the time when he was given the message of the Quran, they discarded it and they didn't listen. But that is not a complete interpretation. Because why? The very same Arabs came back and accepted Islam and their progeny and their people after. So much good. But what has happened, Allah, the Prophet ﷺ is going to say to Allah, and this is Quran, and Allah is saying that. Very interesting. Inna qawm ittakhadhu hadha al-Quran mahjura. Hajar. Hijrah. You know what Hijrah means? And not Masjid Hijrah in Miramar. Hijrah. When the Prophet ﷺ left Makkah to go to Medina, what do you call that? Hijrah. And Allah is saying here that the Prophet ﷺ on the day of Qiyamah will tell Allah that my people made Hijrah from the Quran. What is he meaning? You know what he means? Think what he's meaning. Today you have people who are Hafiz. They memorize the Quran, but they don't live by the Quran. You have people who speak the language of the Quran, but they don't read the Quran. You have people who read the Quran, know the Quran, but don't teach the Quran. You have people who have the money, the wealth, the knowledge of the Quran, but they don't spread the message of the Quran. The first verse says, the Quran is for lil alameen, hudal linnas, for all worlds, all people. So what the Rasul ﷺ is going to tell Allah, whole different categories. You got those people who disbelieve in Allah, they reject the Quran. They make hijrah from the Quran. They move away from the Quran. Some of us, remember the Prophet ﷺ says, one of the signs of the day of judgment will be that people will recite the Quran beautifully. But the Quran will only reach up to our throats. You will only hear beautiful qiraat and Quranic recitation. But we won't live by the Quran. What do we live by? Culture, mazhab, man-made laws. That's how we will move away from. That's how we make hijrah from the Quran. So some people will read it. Some people will learn it, but will not teach it. Some people will teach it, but will not live by it. Some people will recite it, but will not teach it. Some people will memorize it, but will not live by it. And that's a disaster. I tell you, I know there are hufaz and people doing haram business. How could you be a man with the Quran in your heart and you selling haram things? And you eating haram things? So we don't live by it. Our lifestyle, we made hijrah from the Quran. So Allah is saying, this is not a hadith, my brothers and sisters. This is Allah's words. It ain't no interpretation by no Ibn Majah and Tirmizi and Bukhari and any ikhtilaf here. That one people say Za'if and one say Hasan and one say Garib and one say good and not good. This is Quran. Allah is saying that the Prophet ﷺ will complain to Allah on the day of Qiyamah and say, yeah, Allah, my people avoided the Quran. Think about it. I know most of the people who listen to Taraweeh in the night, do we really live by the Quran? Are our businesses and our lifestyle set up by the Quran? We just come and listen to it. So we, in all different ways, we make hijrah in some angle of the Quran. We're not perfect, but that's a serious disaster. That's a serious disaster. And that's a serious message here that Allah is telling us in this Quran. So my brothers and sisters, this Quran with Ramadan. This is the month of Ramadan. Allah has blessed us. Please connect. As we listen to it, make the effort. If Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to sit and rehearse the Qur'an with Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam every night in Ramadan, do you think you or I are better than Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam? You or I are better than the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You think there is any Hafiz who is better than the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He was the first Hafiz al-Quran. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was the first Hafiz, but yet he rehearsed the Quran every Ramadan with Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam. Not that he didn't do it all year. He did it all year, but Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam came down and did it with him, which was the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in conclusion, what I want to remind myself and say to you, my brothers and sisters, let us please read it, listen to it, teach it, live by it, practice it, spread the message of it. That's the first verse, you know. Lil Alameen, for all the worlds. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent. You know, we have a brochure outside on the dawah table, Alhikmat dawah table, called Quraan, 100,000 Drive. Open it, you will see all the verses inside of the commandments in the Quran, and how important it is to spread the message of this Quran to all human beings. Soon we're going to let you know of our program to teach people to read the Quran in Darul Uloom, mashallah. But if we teach people to read it and they don't teach it and they don't spread it, we're going to have some chutney masala in Darul Uloom, a whole bunch of huffaz to do nothing with. You're going to have to cook with them and put them in biryani, like you see happening in some countries. You have so many Muslim scholars and huffaz that they don't know what to do with themselves until they start splitting all the masajids and opening more organizations and busting it up into pieces. We need to take the Quran and learn how to spread it. Let me tell you something. There isn't enough work. There is more than enough work for all the scholars and huffaz in this world. There are billions of people in the world that we can take this Quran to. The Quran is not only for the masjid. It's not only for Taraweeh. It's not only for Islamic organizations. Huffaz and Muslim scholars need to take this Quran to the whole world. So what I'm trying to tell you, there isn't enough Huffaz and there isn't enough scholars, but there are enough sleepers that they study, get the degree, sit at home and jump into un-Islamic businesses, when we need to utilize the knowledge of this Quran to spread it. Otherwise, we are doing injustice to the message of this Quran. It is to take to linnas, all human beings. And that's why we have that Quranic drive. You know, I must say, yesterday, Brother Azad was sitting with me right there. He's a witness. A brother walked up to me and said, I want to do 1,000 Quran. I want to do 1,200. Before he left, he said, I want to do 2,000. I said, wow, that is Ramadan Iman kicking in, you know. Weren't you there, Brother Azad? You see, it's Ramadan. The brother immediately started thinking, Ramadan, Quran, let me distribute Quran in Ramadan. I'm not telling you to only distribute. I want you to read it, study it, live it, change our lifestyle according to the Quran. That's the compact connection for Ramadan. This month of Ramadan is about Quran, Iman, fasting. Fasting is only a means of getting on the Quran. Fasting, as I spoke bi'idhnillah for the past 2-3 weeks, fasting is not the purpose of Ramadan. Fasting is only implemented in Ramadan. Ramadan is not only for fasting. Ramadan is a holy month in which the Quran has been revealed. Fasting ordered in the month of Ramadan. But Ramadan is not only for fasting. So if you only fast in Ramadan and you do nothing else, we have to a point wasted a lot of time. Fasting has only been implemented in Ramadan. Ramadan is to live Islam, develop our Iman, teach Islam, live Islam, energize our Iman for the rest of our lives and the rest of the years and the rest of the